in full-blown LS Fest crunch mode, trying to get this torque converter changed out in the Humvee. If you missed the last video, I'm going from a 900 stall, which is what the diesel had, to a 23 to 2600 stall, which should be right for this motor and cam combo, and it should waken up the entire truck. So last night I was up here. I didn't video much of it because it was really late, but I got a lot of the stuff done that I needed to do just to get the transmission out, and I'll show you a little bit of that. I did completely remove the shifter from the truck. You had to pull this back. It wasn't that bad. I was able to get to most of it from the bottom, and then to get these 4 bolts out, you just had to clamp down on them and then go up under the truck with about a 2-3 foot extension to get those out. I do plan on putting riv nuts in here. That way I can just unbolt it right from the top and not have to worry with it. Another thing I did was I went ahead and removed the drive shafts. I've got the front drive shaft laying right there, the rear drive shafts on the other side of the truck. And now I need to get up under the truck and drain the transmission, pull the cooler lines off of everything, get all those drained out, unbolt the flywheel from the current torque converter, and then probably unbolt the cross member and everything and kind of get it loose and ready to move out, and then I'll unbolt the bell housing from the motor and hopefully jack it up a little bit, slide it back, and then maybe I can get the torque converter in and out from underneath the truck, or if not, I'm going to have to drop it, drag it out here into the shop, and do it all out here. So here we go. I'll give you a quick update. I have gotten everything ready, and all I got to do now is pull the cross member and pull the transmission transfer case combo back past the exhaust, and hopefully it'll come down. I have unbolted the torque converter bolts, which I had to remove the starter to do. Not a big deal. LS motors, just 2 bolts, come straight down. You move the starter to the frame. It sits there fine, and then you can get to all the converter bolts. I undid all the bolts for the bell housing. I drained the transmission with the transmission drain pan. I undid all the cooler lines, let those drain out so I'm not dealing with a lot of fluid. Like, I know I'm pulling a transmission, there's going to be fluid on the floor. I just don't want a lake on the floor. And then on the very back, the transfer case, I had to undo 2 wires, which is just the light that tells you when it's in high lock, low lock. And then also the speedo cable, I had to disconnect the speedo cable, had to do all the shift linkage, and I think that's it. So now I am ready to pull the transmission. And I'm just hoping it goes good, doesn't fall on me, doesn't kill me. I do have this trusty, where is it? Over there, the transmission jack that I used when I did the differential. So I'm going to jack that up to the transmission pan. The only problem is that's not going to hold the transfer case. So I'm going to kind of hold the transfer case and work the gun to drop that at the same time. I've made sure all the wires are out of the way. The only thing I haven't been able to disconnect is the breather hose on top of the transmission, and it is a pain in the butt. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to record that because I don't want y'all to see me die when the transmission falls on me. That would just, it wouldn't be YouTube approved, let's be honest. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. This LS Fest Crunch stuff, whew, I got to make a list. Alright, so I'm back that quick. I went under there, got the transmission jack, lifted it up as high as it would go, and I'm about 3 inches from the pan on the transmission, so I can't just pull it off and let it fall. So I'm going to deflate these 42-inch tires about halfway, and hopefully the deflation of the tires brings the transmission pan down enough where I can get the jack up to it and figure it out that way, because I don't want to put 2x4s or anything on it, because 2x4s can get wobbly or slippery and flip off, and I don't want to catch a transmission tonight. So that's it. I'm going to deflate the tires. We're going to try again. So there you go. I forgot something. The dipstick tube. Well, dipstick tube's in with an O-ring, so it came out just fine. And here she is. Alright, so there is the transmission transfer case. Honestly, if I had the time, I'd get a Atlas while I had it out, but there's the old torque converter. It doesn't really have anything on it to say, well, there's a part number. It's 8653480 4M. So I'll check that out when I get back to the house, see if that is actually a 900 stall. That is a turbo 400. I will say I found a kickdown lead, so I don't know if that's 12 volt or 24 volt, but it does have the kickdown lead. All the gears shift just fine. It's really dirty, gonna clean it up, spray bomb it, get it nice and shiny again. But yeah, that's it. So let's do this. Let's take a look under the Humvee now that the transmission's out. Let me get a light and crawl. I'll tell you, this is not a one-man job. There were 2 times that I was bench pressing that transmission, and it's way heavier than I thought. So, tons of room. I'm gonna get under here and clean all this up too. While I've got it out, just get it all clean. I didn't scrape the exhaust too much. You can see, let me see if I can get this light. You can see the dipstick tube right here. The breather hoses, the back one came off fine for the transfer case, but the one for the transmission I had to cut off, so I'm gonna have to get some more air line for that. This is the wire I was telling you about for the, this just tells the system that it is in 4-wheel drive. Speedo cable here. Coolant hoses over there. And I had to undo this exhaust bracket because the exhaust actually bolts to the transfer case. I'm also chasing a rattle, so I'm gonna play around a little bit with that, but that's it. So I am under the Hummer, about to die of exhaustion. I will tell you that is not a one-person job, that you need 2 people just in case, because my transmission mount, or my transmission jack, started to kind of pull under, and then the transmission started to roll, and so I was literally trying to keep it from rolling off and get my other leg and like push it back under. It was not fun. So that's it for this video. Tomorrow I'm going to come back in here, change that converter, clean all this up, clean that up, order some parts because I want to freshen up some stuff while I got it apart, and then we'll put the transmission back in, take it for a test drive, and let you know how she runs. Appreciate you watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.